Hello everyone. I have a large scale rig here. You can see I'm doing some testing on it with some GPUs here, and I have it running. I was just testing all the ports here. So this is a little bit different. This video is going to touch on a few points of the kind of newer modifications or different versions of the rig that I have, and maybe some common issues. So first off with this one, I just want to show this is what I use to install the screen here. But I don't ship this. This piece of wood it's really handy to kind of mount the screen. But it's not great at shipping. Shipping something this large is pretty difficult in itself. So I have had a little bit of issues, and I'm trying to improve the quality of the shipping, but it's always difficult when you have a 30-pound item like this, and the carriers are just kind of throwing it around a little bit. So I'm trying to improve on that, but also just wanted to give a little installation tutorial on this screen itself, just kind of how to mount it. Really, I mean, if you really wanted to, you could just like lay the screen up here and it wouldn't be an issue, but I'm going to start bringing the screen, like packing it separately and having the customer install it at home, just so like the screen can get damaged, this can get scratched up, and it's just easier to put all this stuff together and kind of make it so that you can just mount this at home. So there are screws that I have here for this, and then there's this mounting bracket, and then there are these locking lock nuts here. So what you can do is these are the two holes that you can use for mounting. So what you're going to want to do is put these screws through here, and then one can go on this side also. You can just kind of fix it to the rail here. So this rail, it's indented. So what you do is you can put one of these lock nuts, you put it like the pointy end, I guess, down. So you can just slide it in this hole. You can slide it in the slot there, and then kind of manipulate it a little bit until it'll like lock in place there. So it's locked in place, and you can screw it and tighten it down, and then you can put another one in here to completely tighten it down. And then what you're going to do to mount the screen itself is you're going to put another screw through this hole right here. It came off, but if I were to lock this down, it wouldn't have done that just with the hex nut. So you're going to put another screw through this going the other way, and use another lock nut, and then you can use it on the back of this part here. So you can put the lock nut that's attached, it's going to be attached to the bracket and through the screw, so the lock nut can go up in here. It'll go like up that slot, and that's how you would install this TV or this screen here, just using the included material. I just include it so that it doesn't break. That piece of wood isn't super strong. Another thing I would just want to point out that's kind of newer with these rigs are these splitters. This is the Z590 UD. A lot of my rigs use the 390. I really just use different depending on availability. It's weird. I mean, it's sometimes this one's cheaper than the 390, even though it's like a more advanced set. So that's what I've been using lately. It's just all about availability and demand and everything. So these splitters they're just PCIe splitters, and they're not great at like staying in place. So I use these zip ties sometimes to kind of lock them down a little bit, but I haven't really seen where they make any kind of, sometimes for the individual ones they make little locks there that you can kind of lock them in place, but these are kind of bad about coming out. So just make sure they're kind of all the way. If you like press on the back here a little bit, maybe a little bit toward the front, it'll just kind of completely lock down. And then you can see I have some of these USB wired cables out right now just because I'm testing, but those should all be pretty well secure in there. So just whenever you receive your rig, just make sure these are all pressed in real well, and then that each USB is completely attached. Some other small things here. Whenever you first get your rig, just make sure that all the cables and stuff, these cables are not managed yet. I haven't wired them up yet, but just make sure that no cables are touching the CPU fan here, that it's able to move freely. Some additional things is sometimes I'll include these already plugged in, the PSUs. These are kind of tough to put all the way in, so you really have to push, obviously make sure they're aimed in the right direction, they're like going in the right way, but sometimes you really need some force behind those to put the 3-prong power cables in there. Another thing I've started doing recently, I used to just attach the these risers to this board right here, but people use such different GPUs that it's really difficult to kind of gauge exactly where I need to go with these. So I've just kind of started attaching them as they are here. So you can kind of move them around and manipulate them as you need to do. But yeah, so I mean, these are just going to end up looking like this. This is a smaller card. This is probably not what you're going to use. You're probably using like a 30 series RTX or something. But yeah, just for the availability and spacing there, that's just usually what I do. So yeah, that's just a little addition to my last video about the rigs, and kind of hopefully it'll be helpful here. So thanks, guys.